Today, we're talking about your work schedule. You know, how you plan your days, how you plan your weeks, how you get work done. Your schedule becomes a very central part to your success and effectiveness as a leader, and even as just as a worker. And you want to make sure that you have the right intentions around your schedule. So in this episode, we're going to unpack some of the key things behind my schedule, some of the things I work with my clients that have seen work, and we'll be sharing that with you today on today's episode.
Welcome to Grow Think Tank. This is the one and only place where you will get insight from the founders and the CEOs of the fastest growing privately held companies. I am the host. My name is Gene Hammett. I help leaders and their teams navigate the defining moments of their growth. Are you ready to grow?
So today is all about your work schedule. And by your work schedule, I really mean your whole schedule, because you want to make sure that you're intentionally putting in there the things that are important to you and your family. I'm a very family-centered person. I want to make sure that I'm there for my wife, my son, my dogs, and I also want to make sure I'm there for from a physical standpoint, make sure I'm taking care of myself, but I also have to get the work done. So we're going to walk through just a few of the key areas around your schedule that I have seen be huge benefit for me and my clients. The first one is really understanding what I call your hours of genius, the time when you are at your highest level of intellectual capability, creativity. You're able to think better during a certain 2 or 3 hours a day. For me, it's in the morning, usually about 8 o'clock to about 11. I really can kind of get in the zone. My focus is at the highest level during that. But when is it for you? When do you work best? If you really understand when you work best, then you want to really put some guardrails around those time periods. So if you work best in the afternoon, if you work best in the late morning, if you work best at night, then you want to make sure that you set yourself up to play at the highest optimal level, which is being very intentional about the kind of work that you put inside that. I don't do a whole bunch of emails in the early mornings when I'm at my highest capacity for intellectual thought. Some emails take that intellectual thought, but most of them don't. And I really do find that I write better in the mornings. I really don't write anything in the afternoons. I never wrote my book in the afternoons. And I just really believe that if you understood your zone of genius, those hours at which you play at your highest level, your highest intellectual capability, then you can set up your schedule for success. Another thing around schedules, creating theme days. I find that I lose a lot when I'm switching, that context switching of your schedule. Your work schedule, if you set up days where you do certain things, certain activities, then you can begin to stockpile the projects and the little tasks that go into that so that you can do them all together. I do a lot of recording on the same day. I do a lot of my writings on the same day. I do client work on the same days. Little story behind this. When I first was introduced to this was through a coach and through, just kind of designing your ideal life and your ideal work. I thought I couldn't do it. I thought that my clients would not allow me to be able to do coaching on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now, I do have some exceptions behind that for travel schedules on both sides. And there's some certain reasons why I would do it outside that. But I really try to fit every one of my clients into Tuesday and Thursday. And it really does help create some structure to the business. So having certain theme days will really help you. Back to the story, I just sat back and I thought it wouldn't be possible for me, but I thought I'd give it a try. And it turned out to be a really huge benefit for the business because I was able to create the flow I needed from meeting to meeting and create the kind of energy for those days. Tuesdays and Thursdays end up being very difficult for me. And so it's really important to do that. So your schedule should be comprised of your hours of genius and then also the theme days that are really important. And certain projects should go on certain days. Now, I'm going to leave the last one here, but it really is the thing that you probably want to pay attention to first, which is, yourself and your family. If you are not scheduling in your family, then you're missing that opportunity to be intentional about how you treat them and how you show up for them. I'm very keen on my clients being there for their families, but I'm also very keen for them, taking time for themselves, whether that be working out, whether that be reading a book, whether it be taking a walk or massages, whatever it may be. If you have all of those things in place, if you have some real guardrails around it and real structure as a leader, you can be more effective and you can get more done in a big way. And here's the thing. You can teach your employees the same kind of structure. You can use this podcast episode, or you can use anything that you need to create more focused work for them and higher intellectual capabilities. And you just got to have a conversation about, when they do their best work and about what's best for their families. And they will love you for it. And you will be the leader who leads that. They will admire you too. So I just thought I'd share some of these concepts around work schedule with you. I really love to be very intentional about my own work schedule. And I find it gets overbooked from time to time, and I feel that pressure. So if any pressure that you're feeling right now, you can leave it by being really intentional. Now, I do have a resource. If you want to be more productive, just go to genehammett.com/productive, and you can get 3 tools that I use with clients to help them claw back that time. You'd be very intentional about the work they're doing. They come from best-selling authors and from the best interviews after hundreds and hundreds of interviews. So just go to genehammett.com/productive, and you can get that download. As always, lead with courage. We'll see you next time.